Oh, everybody's here. I was listening to music. I didn't share it with you because, well, here you go. And here. All right, there we go. Ham will come on in 10 minutes. And until then, we can talk. I guess I'll figure out how to do this better. I'm just not very talented with technology. All right, let's see. Donate. Let's see what's going on here. Grow up, Arthur. Grow up, Arthur. You'll make a fine adult. Yes, we understand it's small, Arthur. We also understand that you are quite drunk. The man, the myth. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I don't know what was wrong, but I can't remember. Well, that's right. It's always the same pattern. Always the same pattern. That's great. Tune in, tune on, tune off, and tune out, or something like that. Who's KM? I don't know who KM. Oh, he takes snippets of my conversation out of context. Well, that's unfair, isn't it? I sometimes go on for hours, and I'm sure you could, take little bits and make me look like a pretty bad guy. I don't know who KM is. With the criminal shorts having unlimited counterfeit shares, how do we beat them? Well, there's an argument, Gerald, that some people make. Oh, it's all legitimate. It's just they deliver, they cover later. The numbers you get are all wrong. But the answer to your question is they can't. Those people that say it's very difficult to counterfeit shares and very difficult to sell shares. So that's one answer. Another answer is that they can just create Gensler shares out of thin air endlessly, particularly through these pipes from offshore. No identification of the client, lying about locating shares. And then once there's failure to deliver, failure to settle the trade, they just move the trades around. And you can have that feeling that it's unlimited. But I think the way to beat them, in particularly in the case of Finger, simply look at the so-called real short, 1.5 million shares at the last disclosure. I say so-called because I think they're in cahoots with the criminals. And today's action, to me, all illegal. Now, there's people out there who say, "Oh, you got to get off talking about shorts." They're locating those shares. But where? Where does 1.5 million shares to sell come from? Oh, you don't know. Well, okay. That's the problem. You break it into little parts. And, each little part to a rational person looks like it's legal. But in the totality, they're breaking the rules. Anyway, I think the way we beat them is in their pocketbook. And that's why I'm excited about Finger, because that might be the one that does it. Who knows? But the way you beat them is in their pocketbook. And of course, they can just regroup and do it to another stock, another company, until people stop believing just because these mostly white men who went to decent schools and even good elite schools working on Wall Street, until people stop believing that they're honest and that they are all engaged in a massive criminal enterprise. This is going to continue. Oh, the SEC doesn't have funding. Oh, they don't have the computers. Oh, I got a call. I got to call in. Got to find the number.
William?
Hey, sorry for being late.
No problem. Hold on. Everybody, all right, welcome to Friday. Again, this is not to buy or sell. This is to education about security fraud. Let's start off I'll start off out of the gate. Number one, the women working on the Wall Street conspiracy need some more money to help close out the final filming of this Wall Street conspiracy movie. You know what stocks are going to be in here. We'll expose it. Any donation you can make, we need it to make it happen faster. I've done everything I could possibly do to help raise funds. And, she's short and she needs some more money. So, again, any donation, we're doing our part. Dig down, $5, $1. I don't give a damn what you donate. Donate anything. You want to fight back? This is your chance. All right? Sitting on the end of the phone, looking for me to help get the stock price up, well, that's got to stop. All right? Things are happening on their own, but we need everyone to kick in and help out. That's all we ask. Okay? I just looked a second ago. In less than an hour, we raised $2,600. And Maureen Morton, I don't even know if she has donated $1,000. Tommy Wang donated $500. So we're off to the races. Anything you can do, all these 10s and 20s. MMTLP, always talking, they got 65,000 holders. Donate $1 a piece, that's $65,000. All right?
How much are you trying to raise this time?
But whatever she can do. She has a top of 100. So okay. If we can get, she's spending $10,000 a week flying her crew around to do all the interviews with all the people. So we just want to get it down the road. Once you move it down the road, there'll be other people coming in, and there's real money around. When it comes in, it comes in. But we don't want to stop the production at all costs.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. So anything you can do, I don't give it 50 cents. Donate it. Wake up. I know it sucks, but we have to keep fighting back. This is the time. All right. Let's go on to now the finger motion. The stock opened up. They did the same pattern, trying to knock it down. The stock popped nice and slow. Buyers are accumulating it. Took it up to 580. And like I was posting, the real short is choking. He's choking on his $5 short on 1.5 million shares. The attack, I put it up on bar chart. He knocked it down 60 cents. He sold 150,000, whether it's him or Lynn Partners, one of the two, blasted it down because the pressure was mounting. All right? No one sells stocks lower. If you were long 160,000 shares and took a 50-cent hit on it, you lost 75,000 because you're impatient. That doesn't exist. This was a kamikaze attack. It's right in front of you. You could see it. We're not going away. Accumulation. You can buy the dip, sell the rip, accumulation, whatever you want to do. Take advantage of, be short. That's your business. All right, there's many avenues to take care of it. Sell your in-the-money calls when the stock is running up to 680. You could have sold it, got some nice money on your 5s, 5.5, even the 6s, and you roll up to the 10s or 11s for free. I told you that 50 times already. All right, the attack is a sign of desperation. All right, so understand what this guy exposed himself on the real short was a gift from the gods. You know exactly the price he's short at. You know exactly what he's doing, and we know he's choking. All right, it's pretty easy to see and understand. The real short was posted, shortsqueeze.com. So if any of the people want to bash, it's right there. You can see this. You can see it right there. What you saw was what we just witnessed from 680 down was a guy selling stock underwater and basically doing the same thing they always do. So it's all right there. You know, we see it every day. It's just that the price is higher, and it's the same pattern. Okay, nothing changes. There's not much you can do in this game to change it. It's right there. The VWAP on today was $6.25. So they got it below the VWAP right now. $6.25. At 680, that VWAP, they're underwater by 50 cents. The attack came before 2 o'clock. I guess maybe they were worried about a margin call around 2 o'clock. Because if you look, that's when they did it. All right? Selling it cheaper, nothing has changed. People who missed it get a chance to accumulate, buy it cheaper. Again, I told you, if I was the short seller, you take the stock higher, all right, and then beat it down. They're not even letting it go up. I got the 680. Would they sell 5,000 shares there and knocked it down as quick as possible? They sold it all back down. Again, it's the same stupid pattern. Do you have any questions, William?
I'm in the middle of retweeting your tweet, so you caught me.
Oh no! Again,
you caught me unprepared to ask questions.
Everyone needs to dig into their pocket and take out $5, $1. If there's a couple of 100,000 of us, it should be easy to go to get to reach these numbers. It's only been out a few minutes that we got this thing. She contacted me. I told her to do it, and she got it done.
I did it, right? And it was Busy Brands that encouraged me. So,
right. So again, anything helps. Amount. We need to get this out there.
Is $100 times 1,000 people $100,000?
It sounds like it.
I'm bad at arithmetic. Right.
Listen, any amount. I'll break it down to $1. Let's get 100,000 people to put up $1. All right? Yeah. Right? People making bigger donations, we already got that cut down already. So again, every dollar counts. Let's try to help get this off to the ground. You know, we work hard. We listen to the calls. We're all working our ass off here. Let's expose these guys. Let's put their names out there and show the world. These guys want to be Bonnie and Clyde. Let's expose them as Bonnie and Clyde. The Kramers, Lynn Partners, all these assholes that are doing it, Savvy Management. Let's expose them all. And it'll be on everyone's TV, everywhere. They're working on deals to cut a deal with Netflix or Paramount or one of the Peacock, one of the streaming networks. It'll be up there, and these guys do a great job, and we need to support them. They're doing a part to help us out, all right? This is going to change your family, change your life, okay? So help any part you can do. I sound like a broken record, but we need you to support this thing. You can see the fraud. We can't stop it. Yes,
we notice the patterns in what you say.
The pattern is the same. Yeah. I wish I could tell you something different, but they're too stupid. They do the same thing every time. I told you, you're dealing against idiots here. They think by trying to sell it lower, people are going to give up on the stock. It's the complete opposite.
Well, do you think if they got it down below some sort of margin call?
It doesn't make a difference. difference. They can push it wherever they like.
Well, no, but
It doesn't make a
did they
difference.
avoid having to put up money today by driving it down? I'm just wondering.
But there's no question that they got a gun pointed at them. All right,
Is it possible that their requirement is $10 a share or $12 a share?
I don't know the deal they have with their, example, let's say the guy who's shorting the 1.5 million, he could have a big account at E-Trade, for example. I don't know. Who knows what their margin is, what they're putting up. Okay, but for them to attack it so blatantly, trying to knock it down as fast as they could, they were getting the call from somebody. One of those parties, whether it's the real short or the naked short, was getting the call to put up money. Something bad was going on. All right? I told you, accumulation, the slow walk up, you'll get to see their pressure points on where they're suffering. All right? That you can see yourself. So when you see the stock spiking, if you want to trade it, and you buy the dip. Doesn't make a difference. No one cares. There's always the risk that when you do that, the stock can just take off and go and you miss the whole thing. That's the problem. So, if you wanted to trade it, you can sell half, buy half, do whatever you like. All right? I tell people who bought options that bought the 5s, the 550s, the 6s, they're all in the money. They all popped up nice. You can trade them, sell them, and buy cheaper calls with the profit. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. If you're trading options, it's the same pattern. Nothing. I say the same thing every day.
There's a shutdown apparently imminent in the federal government. Is that going to affect MMTLP, Finger, or any of our trades?
Oh, I think it'll affect
the S3s, the S4s?
I don't think it's going to affect anything. I think that the SEC has to answer to the MMTLP people. It's right there. They're asking for the information.
Right.
All right. So again, listen, MMTLP, you have the Senate banking fighting your battle. Everyone else has William, me, and all the other people out here that are fighting, retweeting, talking it up, donating money. Those are the people that are fighting for everybody else. We're doing a pretty good job at it.
So how do we win when they can just have unlimited counterfeit shares printed?
Because they can't do it forever. They have a problem. They can't beat the whole world.
Even with long marked wrong? Even with long marked wrong?
GameStop, AMC went from $1 to $70. Make believe it was $10 and it went to $700. That's how big that move was.
Wow.
KOSS went from $2 to $125. So make it $20 to $1,000.
Wow.
That's how big these moves are. You do win. It's a fight, but this is the way it goes down. There's nothing I can say about it.
Could Congress pass legislation simply banning shorting from overseas, like that article indicated from Germany?
Yes, they're going to. The Senate banking is going to expose this thing. MMTLP as the Senate banking, knocking the shit out of the SEC right in front of you. Go look on Twitter, look at the video, get back to me on it. They can't hide it anymore. Inslee is cringing because he knows this is a major can of worms. This is a political nightmare. It's a political hand grenade.
It's going to blow up on his watch.
2 hours worth of $4,000 already. 2 hours. All right? So that's what I want to see. Everyone do your part. Whatever it may be. It all helps out.
I think this is a legitimate listener. He says it looks like 1 million in Finger was covered today. Then they started shorting again at 678. I don't buy that, but what's your comment?
So I had someone that I know bought 500,000 shares, and I know other people bought it. So what you're saying is completely wrong. Next. So they covered it up to. So let's go over that for the guy who just said that. Okay, I'm not trying to insult you, but the stock, they covered it up to 680, and then they sold it short down to 610 again. Who's doing that? A drunk? Think about what you just said. They drove it, covering it up to 680, and then they shorted it back down to 610. Does that make any sense? No. Completely false. Terrible analogy. terrible, awful.
Where do we donate?
The reason they knocked it down is because they were getting margin pressure. The real short is going to fail first. When he buys in his $1.5 million, trust me, you're going to know about it. Because he's going to destroy the naked short by himself. Because when he covers, he's going to be covering as fast as humanly possible.
And it might not be his choice.
He has no choice. It's going to be cover this thing now. Do I need to put up the E-Trade story again? How fast they covered it? That guy was short 2,000 shares or whatever it was. You lost $100,000 in a minute.
The question is, where do we donate? It's on Twitter, at hamshortkiller.com. I retweeted it too.
It's all over the place.
Busy Brands. Yeah.
Everyone, it's all over. It's easy. $10, $5, whatever you can do. You can do more. It's great. Do your part. We're doing everything we can 7 days a week to make this happen.
Hey, Busy, can you put the link up on here somehow? I don't know how to do it. But anyway, it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. Where do we do? A lot of people are asking about donating, so that's really great.
That's what we need to do. We need to send a message to support the people that are running around the country. They're coming to see you, William.
I know. I'm going to be, without me, when I get on it, it's going to be a bestseller. It's going to hit the top of the Amazon charts.
That's what I want to hear. And they're interviewing me in New York, so I'm going to be there too. So.
Yeah, you'll make it an international bestseller.
I'll tell you in Chinese.
Are we able to request blue sheets for Finger as a collective shareholder group under a FOIA request?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Okay, RC LaBelle made money in some stock yesterday that we were talking, NVOS, and she bought Finger today. So that's exactly how you accumulate. That's great.
If we go back to NVOS, again, I know nothing about the situation. And there was a woman saying she bought it yesterday at 19 cents. And she was on the call. And William, what did I say? If you paid 19 cents and it's 47, think about it. It's $19. Now the stock is $47. What are you supposed to do? Make a sale?
That's right. You're supposed to make a sale.
And today it's back to whatever price it is. So you could have sold it and bought it back at 28 cents.
I think it should be working now. No, it froze. It froze because I was trying to post. Everyone's.
Don't worry about that.
Let's keep going.
We'll worry about that later. The options in Finger Motion are are really trading now. I mean, again, there's like these shorts have bought 98 puts today of the floors at 15 cents. That's the and 150 of the looks like they sold them at 90 cents of the.
So explain that again. They bought the puts as a way of creating shares, maybe?
Well, they're trying to short against it, but they're all worthless. It's just waste of time. They're doing anything. On the call side, the 550s are traded 1,400. The 6s 600. The 7s 900. The 8s 1,200, 200. It just keeps going. I told you I know someone who bought 500 of the 11s. That's what I see so far. So you're talking a couple of thousand versus 200 at the other side, or 300, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're not even worth reporting on.
One guy said I shouldn't touch anything while Ham's speaking, and he's right. But on the other hand, everyone wanted me to put the link up, and Jenny L did. Thank you, Jenny. There's no sound now. No, it's working. It's all working just fine. Okay. I don't.
So again, the options are showing you people are betting it to go up. The naked short and the short seller are working, trying to knock it down because they have margin problems. But again, we all know you buy the dips, accumulation, the slow march up will eventually pop their heads like a big pimple. That's what's going to happen. We're going to keep the heat on them by raising money for the group that is working on the movie. We'll get that out. We'll make them celebrities. If it takes another week or two, I could care less, but they're going to go. They're going to get theirs. We have the SEC, the Senate banking, blowing up the SEC, and they're going to come up with that number. When they find out it's 600 million shares that has been naked shorted, it helps everyone. MMTLP helps everyone. GTII, the Kramers, Alpine, they got busted. It's just a matter of time before they get shut down and that whole thing gets exposed. I told you yesterday, if you rent out an apartment to a tenant and you go back and they leave, how many times do people go in there and their apartments are destroyed? That's what Alpine is leaving behind for the regulators. All right? We discussed it with Richard. It's not legal advice. And we both decided, both determined on our own opinions, that these guys are trying to hide assets. That's why they're dragging this fight out.
Right.
That's the only reason they're doing it. So again, if you look at it, if you shorted the stock in that bear raid, which I'm sure that's the type of thing like a Timothy Sykes, they join together, everybody go out there and try to sell it down real quick, trying to get people to bail out. On the close, the stock should turn and start to turn back up. We'll see what happens there. Unless these guys are totally desperate and need to keep marking it down. Oh, I forgot, it's the end of the quarter, right? Is that Mike?
Yeah, somebody pointed that out yesterday. I forget who was so smart, but yeah.
It's the end of the quarter, so now you understand the attack. They're willing to lose more money trying to protect, so they don't have to show their investors how awful they really are.
Well, and in many cases, their investors might be pretty scary to them. So, put them out of business.
I don't want to sound like this is the Jerry Lewis telethon. This money isn't going to me. And we're over $5,000 already in 2 hours. And I thank everybody for doing their part. It's great. At $10,000, these people go week to week until they finish it out. I already raised them like $75,000 already. So again, we're doing our part. Everyone's helping out. And I told them that we needed everyone to join in on this fight and to move it along instead of me working my ass off trying to, solicit people for money every day. And, doing this, watching the stock, it's getting to be too much. So I appreciate everyone's efforts. And, for my friends out in Long Island, reach into your pockets, you bunch of cheap bastards. You know who you are. Anyway,
if people lose money in trading finger, whether it's options or stock, and it's proven that these shorts broke the rules, can they be sued in retrospect after the fact, after it's proven?
I think you can. We'll have to ask Richard. It's not legal advice. We'll have a call with him, and we'll look into that. That's that could be something that. If you did take your loss, that's not a bad idea. You could take your loss. let's say you own it, you could sell it out and then buy it in your wife's name. And this way your account looks like it took a beating. You could sue and your wife will make the money on the upside then.
Somebody's pointing out that the site says support financial terrorism in America. That's the title of the documentary.
No, it says financial terrorism in America, the Wall Street conspiracy.
Right. It's the title. We're not supporting that terrorism. We're supporting the making of that documentary, which has that title.
Right. It's going to be financial terrorism in the United States, the counterfeiting of the U.S. equity markets.
Right.
And that's what this is about. And I believe that once you use the word counterfeiting, you start bringing, I think, the Secret Service, you start bringing in the DOJ and all that other law enforcement that looks at counterfeiting, which is a very serious crime.
A generic question, is there any word on the street about Univest? I don't know anything, but I'll ask it.
No, I can't. You know what's coming to a head. That's how I feel about it. Whether it's today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, it's going to happen. They're not here just to put their name out there and do these filings for fun. All right? They're obviously, they have a history of doing it. You have to determine whether you believe it or not. All right? I'm a believer that it's going to happen. These guys are here. I'm sure they know about Lynn Partners and everything that's going on here. So,
one gentleman sold puts, used the money to buy calls. So that was a pretty aggressive way of being bullish.
Use that money to buy. Listen, I know people do that. I don't want to tell people that, but that's what people do.
And it might catch the market makers.
You can sell the $6. You sell the $6 puts. You get a buck for them. You turn around. You can buy, twice as many of the 10s or whatever. You get them for free.
But remember, if the stock goes down, you own the stock at 6.
You're long, right? You got to worry about it, right?
A lot of people have donated. Thank you to everybody donating.
No, listen, I don't want to come down like I'm trying to what do you call strong arm.
We just need Don Rickles to come on and make fun of you, and it's the Jerry Lewis hour.
Someone just put up the story about the. Hold on 1 second. What date is this? I'm trying to see. Accept. SEC charges 12 firms with record-keeping failures. At this noon on Friday. I guess it's today.
Thank you, George. Put in 50 to Smackers. That's great, George P. Awesome. 50 is a lot of money.
The SEC, including Interactive Brokers, Fifth Third Securities, and the Naveen Securities, who paid $79 million, admitted they violated the record-keeping rules. What's so hard about doing anything? It's unbelievable. This gentleman just put it up. It's unbelievable what's going on here. It's remarkable.
Why? What's the summary of what you're reading?
12 firms charged with record-keeping infractions resulted in a $79 million in collective fines by the SEC.
It was inadvertent, or was it intentional?
I'm sure that it was intentional. Not everybody, just like you always say, every CEO has a bad idea at the same time.
Yeah. Can you imagine the over-the-counter markets?
This system is the brokerage firms are supposed to be protecting your money, and they're helping these guys steal your money.
Ted Williams not only bats 400, he just donated $100. Thank you.
Listen, I know someone just donated 10. I just happened to be looking at it. Every dollar counts. Show the support. That's all we want to do, and we have to fight back. This is for you and your family, your children, your cousins, your relatives. God forbid someone gets sick of cancer. We need to stop this now. So anything we can do to shut this fraud down, I'm there for you. I'm there. I need your help. I'm not, I'll show my age. I'm not Rockefeller, so.
Why don't we jump? Jump just put in 100. Ryan Williams put in 20. This is great.
Fantastic. Again, We need all the help we can. We have trapped Lynn Partners and their buddy, the Real Short, and they will get run over. When we're done here, we're going to GTII, and then we're going to try to find a company, a cancer company that everybody can feel great about trying to save, whatever it is. All right, to save people, someone in your family, whatever it may be. We need to stop this. Whether it's CBM or whether it's Northwest Bio or brain cancer. You know, I put a picture of my friend up all the time. He died of brain cancer. I have a friend that had head and neck cancer. They cut out his jaw and his tongue. It's brutal.
A friend of mine in his 50s just lost his wife after a 3-year battle to pancreatic cancer. That would be a good one.
I'm just saying that these companies, they're all over the place. No one cares. There's no one helping them. It is basically, it's a bunch of lions running around just eating CEOs up. That's all they do. Lynn Partners runs around, makes companies sign these pieces of paper, gives them money, and just destroys them.
I think the answer is to make it illegal for a CEO to sign one of those notes. Then the SEC will go after the CEOs. They don't go after the criminals, but they'll go after the CEOs, and it's all done. Anyway, to people that are having a hard time linking, this is a good idea. Go to GoFundMe, search for Christina Lee Copeland, Copeland, like Ken Copeland, and her first name is spelled with a K, Christina.
Yeah, you can get it that way. That's how I got it. I posted it. But again, that's something that you got the whole weekend. I appreciate it, you know, and just so that you can make a donation, it'd be great. Let's try to do the best we can. And again, fighting the naked shorts, Lynn Partners and their friend do short $1.5 million. We're not letting them get away. They can play all the games they want. Listen to my voice. We're not letting them get away. They can keep knocking it down 20 cents, 30 cents. They keep doing it, the same patterns all the time. It doesn't make a difference. There's no option expiration. There's nothing to stand against here in the middle of nowhere right now. It's a stock versus the short. That's all it is. The buyers versus the short. Buyers, I tell everybody when they call me up and they want to buy it, just accumulate. Buy half, bid for half. And if you bought half, like I've always told you, and you paid $6.50 for it, you could buy your other half down here at $6.13 now. That's the way to play. They continue to give you the Kramer discount. That's what I call it. You know, this is, you know, our first taste of it, first sighting of it was when the Kramers were doing it in the GTII. Trying to bash it down, and then it just popped back up again. And remember, that stock went from, you know, nothing to $9. Finger Motion went to $10. And all this buying in the stock now, all this accumulation, is just going to make it go bigger. That's it. There's nothing. You can't get away from it. It's just going to. Once at times when it breaks, they can't get away from this mess. We won't stop. We'll have the truck out there again. We'll call them out. We'll show them their names. The SEC is going to have to investigate. The Real Short, he's got a real problem because he's probably doing it onshore. He's the first guy that's going to get caught. Right, so these other guys are doing it offshore. So the SEC knows. They know who these guys are already. We're just pissing in the wind here. These guys are all exposed. We just keep saying the same shit, but these guys are all going to get caught.
Stephen Rosenberg is willing to donate $500 if we tell everyone to ask their broker for a notarized statement that the broker bought real Finger shares, not counter.
Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to do that as soon as we hang up and we see your donation for $500. You bastard. Donate the money. Don't talk shit on our calls. Get out there and donate. That's it.
I see you guys have a history.
I don't even know the guy. Somebody he's talking shit and not without donating. He knows how serious this is. He's a CVM. He's a longtime CVM holder. They try to speak with the CEO. The CEO he just got trampled here. It's just unbelievable what happened to that company. But again, that's not my job. He has to dig himself out of his own grave.
if they can naked short, can we naked buy? Which is, of course, the heart of the matter. It's not a level playing field.
I want to go buy 100,000 shares with no money. Yeah, okay. That's not going to happen. The naked shorts have given you an opportunity, thanks to all the exposure that we've given it. That's something that can change your life. It's a life-changing event because these guys have oversold, just like an airline seat. When the airline sells the seat for $200, it has to pay you $10,000 to buy it back. Look at the punishment. That's what's going to happen here.
Moody Waters asked his broker, and they wouldn't put it in writing. So there you go.
Don't tell Rosenberg that. Let him donate first.
Oh, Jenny L., what a sweetheart. She could only dote $20, but she did it. $20
Thank
is
you very much.
$20.
Listen, I don't care if it's $1. $1. We'll take anything. We need to get this number. We need to get to $10,000. These guys can pull it down, and week by week, we'll just keep getting to tens. And these guys will do their film crews. We'll go out, and they'll document this whole thing for all of us.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
That's it. We're in the motion picture business now. And if you think all these other films that you see are hard hitting, there's going to be no crying here. When you give your interview, you better talk strong and be stern about what you're saying here. All right? There's no more bullshit here. These guys belong in jail. Let them know it's counterfeiting. Be strong about it. All right? That's how you got to be. Don't be tap dancing around it.
Good example of how you can't just buy a microphone and sound better. This one guy is, I think he knows what he's talking about, and maybe there's something wrong with my mic. Probably something wrong with me. It starts net $100 donated. Hal Williams will donate more if Syracuse beats FSU.
Well, that ain't happening, Hal. So let's start with Clemson this weekend.
Can Finger issue a dividend?
Let me just tell everybody what I've done. I helped Wes Christian get a bunch of clients. I've never got anything but some smoked chickens as a Christmas gift from him. All right? I wanted him to fund this whole thing, but he couldn't do it. He put up $40,000. He made a donation of $40,000. And he's agreed to hire me as a consultant to pay me $300 an hour to consult for the law firm. Every penny I get from my consulting, I'm donating to the movie. So I do 3 hours a day of consulting. I don't know what I did, but I did something. But I'm helping them out. So hopefully I can donate $1,000 a day to the cause. So I'm doing my part.
That's pretty powerful.
I chained myself to the desk to consult. I didn't want to do it, but I'm doing it.
What do you think the S3 will be released at the beginning of the new quarter, which starts on Monday?
I don't control an S3. It's a non-event. It's a filing that every company does, and it's really nothing to be concerned about. It's either you believe. The question is, do you believe that Univest will stand behind what they normally do? If they do that, you know what's coming. I believe that a major event is coming your way. I think the sands of time have run out on our friends. And they actually, if you go back 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, William, what did I call it when they were selling it down? What do we call it?
The Kramer Cha-Cha?
We call it a bear trap.
Oh, I knew I had one or two choices.
I know, but that's the bear trap.
That's a bear trap because you trap the bears, not because you trap
the bears. They thought we were running away. We just welcomed them in to sell it to us all at $5, and they did. The putzes did it. Now they're down $1. They were down $1.70 before I was putting up the numbers. Just look at the numbers. When it passes,
Where do you think it closes in 20 minutes?
I think that whoever, listen, these guys are so desperate, but I could see anybody who's a fringe short seller that's around with these guys like a Timothy Sykes, they have to close out their positions. All these day trading thieves will turn around, and try to cover on the close. They're not going to go home long short. They're not going to go home short.
So they have a chance of running it to the highs by the end of the day?
Yeah. I mean, I can't see, there's no reason not to.
Dips Patel donated $50.
Beautiful.
And Pat Shigola donated. So it's much appreciated because it is for the cause for all of us.
It's for everyone. We've done our part. Again, we work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, trying to help everybody out. And I hope you're making money. I hope we're doing the right thing again, but we can't stop this nonsense. But we're doing everything we can in our power to expose it.
I don't know. They're saying my mic volume's too high. I turned some buttons. We'll see what that does.
Does anyone have any questions that we're sitting here besides the normal nonsense of attack? I told you, it's the same pattern. Hold it down, and never let it go up. I told you if I was the short seller, I have the stock at 15 already. And then they drive it down. They think they're trying to create this volatility. It moved up to 680 and then try to smack it down. To them, that's volatility. That's not volatility. Taking it up $7 and then driving it down, that's volatility.
Right. So only red stock on one guy's watch list is Jeffries.
When finger breaks 10, I will make a lot of noise about Jeffries getting a hammer. I put up the document the other day. If you look through my tweets, and it ties Jeffries, the prime broker. It's right there. I put it together. They have it in their filings.
Okay, so Heather is recalling something that you put on Twitter. You said nothing bad happens until the Dow drops to 33,000, NASDAQ 12,800, and S&P 4,200. Looks like it's getting close. Is it happening?
When it breaks those numbers, that's come from my older brother is a professional of professional of professional. So, I mean, that is the highest level. He's a genius when it comes to that stuff. And my brother is a big cap guy at all. He doesn't even look at anything that's, below $100. I mean, he's a Costco, Caterpillar tractor. He's that type of guy. And, he just looks at what they're doing and a break of those numbers and be careful.
Do you worry that they might do a controlled spike in the pre or post market?
No.
And then options can't trade and all that like they did with AMC?
No.
Okay.
Listen, when they fold, the first person that's going to fold, and I'm thankful, is that it's the real short who borrowed the shares. He's paying a fee, number one. He's short 1.5 million shares, and basically he's got a big problem. And that is a problem. Let's say he's got a $10 million account. Do you realize the beating that he's taking? That is a massive beating. And he wanted to jump into this. He wanted to jump into finger motion. Out of all the stocks in the world, let me go out there and short 1.5 million of this. All right. So again, they have to be friends with Lynn Partners. They got to be tied together. So they put him in here for a reason. And this guy's going to sit there and say, "Fork you, I'm out. I'm going to lose 100% of my money of $3. Of $3, this guy's down $5 million. Let's say if he has 10 in his account.
I don't know the stock. Miguel Garcia is talking about CYDY. Apparently, it has a medicine for cancer, which cured a guy with terminal prostate cancer. The short shorted from $7 to 20 cents.
Yeah, I remember the stock going up. Yes, it was going up every day. And there's your example of what I'm talking about. I don't know that company at all, but, this is what goes on, and it's everywhere. And the SEC is a disgrace for not doing anything about it.
Scott Scheller shells seashells by the seashore. Scott Scheller says somebody's buying Finger. It seems like it's holding at 620. I think you're right. There is somebody in there buying, which makes why the shorts are doing this a little bit quixotic.
They have the same pattern. It's the same pattern. I wish I could say it's different. There's nothing different about it. Now the shorts have to, besides watching what we say on Twitter or listening to our call, now they have to watch us raise money to stick it down their throat on television, which is going to be my pleasure. Wait a second, I just worked another half an hour. That's another $150 I donated. Everything in my power, I'm going to end this. I'm ending it in finger motion. I can't end it on the whole equity market, but we're going to end it here, and then we're going to be like cannibals and go kill them in GTI. That's how
they only understand losing money, so it's the best strategy of all. Does a good till cancel order work in the pre-market or after hours? I think your ticket has to.
That's a good question.
I think your ticket has to reflect it, and I think you have to have signed the release with. Yeah.
If you want to do it in the pre-market, you can cancel your order at night and put it out there in the pre-market, and then when the pre-market closes, you have to go back to the daily markets.
Maybe that's it. Will there be halts in Finger?
Probably.
But that's not something to be afeared of.
No, listen, once it stops, the shorts still, when they open it up, the shorts got to still keep going. Look at, HKD had about 25 stops on its way to 2,500.
So Heidi just joined, and she wants you to start from the beginning. Any problems with that?
I forgot everything I said already. Again, Heidi, I appreciate it. Get out that credit card, whatever, donate $10, $5, $1, whatever it can, and we will recap everything for you anytime.
Mario donated $200. This is great, guys.
This is great because now we're sending a message to the movie producers. Hey, you're in the right spot. We're behind you. Let's send that message.
The chosen ones spoke with someone at the SEC, and that person, she said that investigations of shorting take 2 years. The chosen one asked them, what company will even be around after 2 years of this criminality? Go figure. She had nothing to say.
That's great news. 2 years. We've been here 3, so we're right in the zone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? We're way down the road. If you're joining us now in the last 6 months or 7 months and you think it's been a long battle, we've been here way longer. We did all the legwork. It's all teed up. We know who the short is. We know how big the short is. And we even have a new short, which is a real short. And that guy, Tony, what's his name? Tony, the cookie guy, was telling me that there was no short in the stock. And the shorts are very nice even to come and start to borrow and short that now. Short them there.
Rocky Balboa, I think AP is assistant producer. He's an assistant producer on a film, and his college roommate can produce movies cheap. So he's saying let him know if he can help.
Yeah, listen, I'll hook you up with what's her name, Christina. They're going to have it shown at the New York Film Festival with Robert De Niro's place. What is that? There's not Sundance. I forget which one it is. The New York Film Festival. I think it is.
Jenny Rebecca will give you the link, Heidi.
Okay, I just saw a great post. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Soon we feast. I just retweeted it by Tommy Wang.
What does it say? Soon we feast?
Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Soon we feast.
All right. So we've hit 106 donations, apparently.
I'm getting ready for the feast.
But I don't like that mid-autumn. Autumn's but started. But anyway, I don't know what it means, mid-autumn festival.
To me, that's a sign from the gods.
Go
ahead. Did anybody happen to notice that this morning, without even saying boo, GTI went from, they were holding it below 79 cents for I don't know how many days. It popped to 90 cents again. You see how fast?
Yeah, people are asking about that. They did notice it.
I watched it this morning, and I didn't say boo about it. When finger motion goes, GTI is going to follow. Or GTI goes, I don't know. I think finger motion's first, but I think GTI will be right behind it.
Oh, it could be Oktoberfest. Yeah, that's a good point. It could be Oktoberfest. Barbara donated 50. Yasmina Dukanovic donated 50. So everybody's joining in.
Listen, that tells me we're all as a team.
So it looks like education extends to donations, not just buying stock.
Well, listen, that again, to me, I love it that you own stock, but this movie needs to be made, and it will be earth-shattering because we're going to definitely call out everybody. This is not going to be GameStop people crying, tell us about your personal. We don't care. You had your opportunity to make money. Finger Motion hasn't given us the opportunity to really make that type of money yet. And trust me, when I'm having these conference calls, when this stock is 1,000, I expect to be one person on this call. Everyone should be selling out as it's going to the moon. I just called out a guy, called him a cheap fuck, and he says I donated. Okay, good. That's all.
You have a way.
On this call, I know you don't know me, but the people that know me, I'm brutal to.
I can see why you were so successful on Wall Street. You have a way with people.
Well, again, I pull my weight. You have to pull your own. Okay, I'm not here to make you money. I'm not your personal, financial advisor. Okay, you need to figure this out. I document everything. I tell you everything, how to do it. I can't say anymore. I was thrown on the trading desk. I had to learn this stuff on the fly. In order to deal with the bigger and smarter people, you had to move quickly. And that's why I speak fast and I think fast. And I'm not always right. But again, it's the same patterns. There's no different. If I was trading for one of my guys, when these guys attacked Finger Motion, I would have been sucking it all up and stuck it right down their throat.
Yeah.
Right? This is the people that are on the short side of this thing are amateurs. Amateurs. Complete amateurs. The only thing they have going for them is that someone's allowing them to sell more shares. That's it. And they still can't hold it down. And trust me, every day the stock does this, bigger players are reaching out, and I'm having conference calls with guys that know their shit and can all see it.
Wow.
It's not a rookie camp.
Wow. Heidi just pulled over on the highway. She donated 500.
Wow, I see it, Heidi. Thank you so much.
500 smackers.
Beautiful job. Thank you so much. Listen, people, you don't have to go over your head. Whatever you can afford, we appreciate it. Again, we want to send a message to the shorts. We're not going away, and we are. In less than whatever it is, in an hour or 2 hours, we already got people donating. This is fantastic. You made my day, Heidi. Thank you so much, and everybody else that I can't recap everybody.
Heidi ho.
But we're not going away. Again, these guys, Whether it's today, Monday, Tuesday, it's coming to a head.
Do you think private equity and short sellers work together to destroy companies?
Yes. No one.
The penny
there is
drops.
There is no money lending on Wall Street unless you're funding Goldman Sachs or Costco. No one lends any money to small companies. They only steal from them. If the first thing when you go into a hedge fund's office, a private equity, and you're the CEO, they say, "Hey, can we see, what's the symbol of your stock?" And you say, and they go, "We want to look at the volume." And I go, "Why do you want to look at the volume? What's the big deal? What does that mean?" That's all they care about, is they want to get out of the trade before they give you the money. So the day you walk in their office is the day they start selling it, or the day you call them up, or someone introduces you. They already know how many shares they can sell. They already got a feeling of what the market can handle. And then the next thing they do is they make the public company come out and put out a press release telling you everything is great. You have any good news that you can release since we gave you the money? Sure, we can. So the company puts out good news. And then what do? They destroy the stock into the good news.
Right.
They do it all the time.
Somebody, new feed donated $50. Jeff Kendrick, $100.
I can't thank everybody enough. William, I got it. Like I said, this weekend, that's all I'm going to focus on. I'm going to get this number to go crazy. I'll have to do more consulting work so I can get another $300. Whatever I'm doing.
Let's call it. One guy's saying, let's call Charlie Mayo for a donation, since he called us looking for stock.
Listen, they all wanted to be Bonnie and Clyde. They had no idea that this was going to be reversed on them. They had no idea that shareholders would go to the FBI on their own. And I put the gentleman on the phone. On his own, he went to the FBI to report the crime. Lynn Partners has been going about this, looting companies like it's no big deal, making believe that they're Madison Avenue executives. They're just looters and counterfeiters.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's what they are. And what are they doing? They're trying to bring friends around, trying to help them out, to force them to help them win. It ain't going to happen. You can't fight the street. And the donations are showing them that, hey, these guys really are fooling around.
So 1.62 million, is that a lot? $6.22. That's pretty good.
I have to wait I can't wait till 5:30, okay, to see what the short number is. All right, so again, there's been real buying today, and I know about 800,000 of the 1.6.
Well,
so again, I don't know what the other people, everybody else did, but I know pretty much a lot of buyers that bought stock.
it looks like they're going to keep it from being 678, but I would think being over $6 is not going to look good at their end of the month reporting or margin
They're
calls.
sitting here squirming, moving 200 shares around like it's no big, like it means a lot. That shows you the desperation. The desperation at 680, the attack, it was just relentless. Sell, 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 drop all the bids. It's the same pattern. Every day it's the same pattern. You get to see it. The people are buying calls. Everyone's got this feeling that whatever's coming is coming fast.
Well, if Tom Ronk is correct, and this selling we've seen over the last few weeks, they're entirely underwater. Everything they've sold to combined is underwater.
Yet they keep trying. Who is allowing them the other side of this trade? Think who is allowing this stuff?
Hey, there's systems in place preventing abuse. It's got to be all legal.
Oh, it's all legal stuff. We're all crazy. But anyway, listen, we're approaching the end of the day.
One more minute.
I appreciate everybody donating. It's important that we keep going. Whatever you can, your friends, if you have to sell a share to help fund, give us $10. I appreciate it. We just need to we want them to show that we have people supporting this project and we're not going away. So it's important. I got it. I know you own stock, everybody. I hope you're making money. And, if you have to sell, remember, if you have to sell and protect your family, please don't sit here and go broke over something. Make sure you can support your family. I don't want to see horror stories like I've seen in MMTLP. All right, this is a tough game. We're fighting criminals, and now we have to raise money to fight them and put them on, make them TV stars now.
Just like you always say, they got it down by pennies. So the last was 621, even though it was trading 625, 628. They were
every penny counts. Remember that. I keep telling you, when you're short and the number goes up, think about how much money they lose on the short side. This is a great day. I know everybody wants it to go crazy and go to 10 or whatever it's going to be. But the momentum, the accumulation. And one gentleman told me today from California, and he thanked me. He said he learned one word. And I was lost. I go, what is it? He goes, accumulation. He goes, I've been buying it and accumulating it, and I have a great average price now because I never chased it. And I did it just like he said, to accumulate it. And he was very happy about that. And I said, you're welcome. That's all I can say. All right. You can do this in any stock you buy. You can see that these stocks all have these crazy swings. So imagine if you bought 200 shares the other day at 5 and it went to 680 and you sold it, you could have bought it back. You could have sold 1,000 of it. This isn't locked down. You can do whatever you like to do.
One gentleman's predicting 675 in the after hours for Finger. Clay Schofield pulled his truck over and he donated $200. Ham is a dynamo.
There is a 637. I hope you get 675. Remember, the idiots that short throughout the day, these small players, try to cover in the aftermarket. That's what they try to do. They try to cover in the aftermarket, and this way they try not to disturb the real market and try to hopefully someone will whack them in the aftermarket. That's what they're looking for.
So if they trade at 8 p.m., the trade date is the same as today. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Well, listen, everyone, have a great weekend. Please spread the word on the money raised for the movie. I posted it all over Twitter. I won't stop. Every penny helps. And we're sending a message to the producers that we got their back. They don't know us. And, we don't know them, but they actually done good work. If you go look at the Wall Street Conspiracy, see the first one. She's back. She's doing a great job. And actually, William, they're showing up at your place. Do you know when? I don't remember when.
I just have to make sure my eye appointment's not. They gave me the days. Yes. They're going to be here next week.
Your eye appointment.
I'll move my eye appointment.
On your eye. Put a patch on your eye and a rag on your head. Look like a pirate.
I'll make sure that I'm there because, as we all know, my clip is going to be critical to the success of the documentary.
Well, I made them 100% to make sure that they got to you. I wanted you in it, so you're going to be in it. And I wanted to have our friend, the baker from Long Island, sit there and actually bake us some cookies while he bitched and moaned about the stock price all the day. But we'll be okay. Again, the donations are super important. Anything and everyone, thank you so much for the people pulling over, doing it in their cars. I can't thank you enough. Heidi, I can't remember all these other names. But thank you again, and you made my day. And wow, I just consulted another half hour. It's another $150. Poor Wes, he just got hit with an $1,100 bill. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. I'll be around. If I hear anything strong, we will be reporting to you over the weekend. William, go rest, take the dog for a walk, and we'll speak to you later.
All right, Ham. All the best. You did a great job. All right.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. All right, everyone. Relax, everyone. 6:30 in the aftermarket. I'm gonna end. I won't end, with one click, but I'm gonna end pretty soon because I have to go walk Lucky. Steven Rosenberg, maybe I can give Venmo. I don't know how to tell you where Yeah, let me look. How can I show you Venmo? You're asking the wrong guy. I have no clue how all this stuff works. I'm in a rotisserie league for baseball. I don't do that well, but a couple of years ago, I asked, where do I send my check? I was laughed off of the conference call. Nobody uses checks anymore. There's this thing, Venmo, though. Let me see if I can find it. There it is, Venmo. Let me see where my Venmo is. There's my Venmo. That's for Steven Rosenberg, who knew Paul Sweeney, Dick Nelson, David Lefebvre, Keith Carr, Ed McCarthy. Probably knows Howard Taylor. Might know Fontaine Smoller. I don't know. I don't know if you know all those names. I didn't shout out Crayon Eater as a donor, but Crayon Eater not only is a donor, he's also one of the hardest working people, along with about at least 2 or 3 dozen that I know on behalf of everybody. Wow, JM Photographic, that's amazing, up 25%. J Rub donated 100. Bye, Jenny. Did Jenny leave? No, it doesn't allow me to do the lipstick filler. I'm looking forward to a 4-leaf clover. I'm going to buy the Apple M3 when it comes out. And as soon as it comes out, I think I'll be able to give you a better experience, better microphones. I'm a plug and play person, so I don't know how to do anything. And I don't even get that interested in how to improve it. So I'm not the best techie. All right, Jenny L., thank you very much. Thanks for helping getting the link out. Thanks to Heidi and Rocky Balboa for their generous donations. If there's a shutdown, can we still be certain that the S3 will be released and published? I don't know the answer to that, but I assume, Phil, that Univest has a certain pull with the SEC. They're not Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley, but if you look on their website, they have a lot of tombstone ads there that I'm going to just guess off the top of my head. It's at least 2 or 3 dozen of them. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but there's a lot of them. So I assume that their attorneys have worked well with the SEC in the past, will continue to work well with the SEC, and I'm sure they can navigate a funding issue. I'd be surprised if FINRA gets shut down in a government shutdown, and I'd be kind of surprised if the SEC, I don't know, the SEC almost seems like a self-regulatory organization, not legitimately an arm of the Congress or the executive branch. Yeah, Jenny's going to say nag, nag, nag. Wow. That's pretty good. 625 bid. Jenny thinks I need to be done. Time, take a break, breathe. Nag, nag, nag. No, I agree. That's great, Jenny. I think I do have to because I'm on a bit of a schedule. 4:10. If I start walking lucky now, I'll be back at 5:30. So I don't have much room for error. Yeah, Mexican. I joined the Apple ecosystem because I thought it would all be basically plug and play, intuitive, and you'd have all. And I've never found that it's particularly. In fact, I've lost pictures over time. I've lost on my big computer. They took out the entire memory to replace a chip that was faulty, so I lost a bunch. I'm not that impressed with Apple. On the other hand, I don't know what else to do. Gensler said, Hidden Agenda says, offerings will be affected with the shutdown if the company does already have filings in and properly finished. So the end of your sentence implies that if you're already in and properly finished, maybe you skate by. I don't know. I'm not an SEC lawyer, but to me, the fact that the filing was made on September 11th, and let me add it up, about the 15th or the 14th, there was an 8K filed. They did their full disclosure. Like I already said, my guess is the high-powered attorneys at Univest working with the SEC attorneys, everyone there's an attorney, I assume. I really don't see an issue with Univest being able to act on that sub-prospectus for $25 million. But we'll find out. And it's too bad that he said that. Thank you, Hidden Agenda. All right, Jenny. Jenny, why didn't I think of that? Nag, nag, nag. Explain how a $6 stock can go to 900 with just naked shorting. Well, Ham's gone. I think you asked that question either yesterday or the day before. And what Ham said, it's shorts on top of shorts on top of shorts. Ham said yesterday, if the short position is 30 million shares, that means whether it's legal or illegal, counterfeit or located, if it's short, and there comes a time where a brokerage firm is underwater, a prime broker, because the stock goes from 6 to say 12, they call up their clients and say, you need to bring in $10 a share, and the clients hem and haw, they buy in. That's your first reason it starts to run. Ham said 30 million shares naked short could drive it to $300. Who knows? It's just we're just trying to guess. Remember, when the buy-ins come at the prime brokers, the selling stops. The selling stops. So that when the buying comes in, there's no resistance. That's one. Two, as the stock goes up, day trading shorts, cowboy shorts are going to start shorting the stock. They see it's at 12. I'll sell 100,000 shares, and another desk across town, say he's in his pajamas. It's at 12. It's hitting all-time highs. Sell 500,000 shares. And they'll get into that. They won't know what's going on. And then the stock's at 21. And then they have to all cover it. And it'll keep happening. At some point, you'll reach a level where the shorting works. Maybe it's at 500, maybe it's at 3,000. I don't know. Wherever the peak is, they'll be shorting, and then there won't be any buying, and it'll collapse. But until then, just simply the buying in the error accounts at brokerage firms will drive the hyena shorts, the pesky shorts, the opportunistic shorts. They will lose money on every trade. They'll short it, and as soon as it goes against them, they'll cover. And it just adds fuel to the flame. Hustle and heart. If you don't believe there's 150 million shares short in Finger, which, counterfeited, which a lot of people don't, just focus on the 1.5 million shares that are reported by FINRA. And people say, oh, that's old. That's not current. I don't know. There's no way to satisfy people who don't believe something nefarious is going on. But if you believe I just think it's self-evident that shares are being sold either without locating them, or short, or counterfeit, or somebody is overselling their positions, how many ever it is. The volume has just been so high. So how a $6 stock can go to 900 is when years of selling stock to suppress the price. And I don't know. Don't use the 170 million. Just use 5 million shares short, just 5 million. If it gets into an error account at a prime broker, and the risk management side of the firm takes over from the hustle guys, the salesman guys. So you go from the people trying to constantly make commission and generate sales to the compliance side of the firm. They'll buy that 5 million shares in without even thinking. And then there's no selling. Those clients can't sell anymore. So I don't know if it'll go to 900, but it's going to go higher if there is any kind of buying in, the selling gets removed, then there's momentum from other traders coming in. There's shorts who short and get burned, and they have to buy in. Who knows where the spike goes? Hustle and heart. Just punch up HKD, TOP. TOP was a company that Univest supported. Look up the one that Ham always talks about, VW. My answer to your question, look at MMTLP. It's rumored. Now, people say, oh, that was just one situation. You got to get off of all this short selling. It only happened in one stock. I don't buy that, but I can't prove what I'm saying. That's true. But it's rumored that MMTLP, there's up to 1 billion shares sold which do not exist. That didn't happen in a week. That happened to kill Torchlight, to kill MMAT, and then to destroy MMTLP over a period of 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's sitting there. They don't want to release the blue sheets, but they know. I don't know the number. I saw a number as high as 2.4 billion. Whatever. Call it 1 billion. Call it 500 million. Whatever it is, it built up over many years. If and when, not in the case of MMTLP, I'm assuming hustle and heart, that in the case of Finger, in the case of GTII, in the case of many other stocks out there, hundreds and thousands of stock, how is it that every single CEO on the over-the-counter market has a bad idea? A team that doesn't function well, has problems with profits and cash flow, has a bad balance sheet, should be trading for less. How is it that? It's because the over-the-counter markets do not work. They are not capital formation markets. They are capital destruction, corporate destruction markets. But hustle and heart, if you don't want to accept that there's a huge amount of shares which were sold without being located, which are sold without being delivered, the stock will never go to 900. Whether it's a legitimate legal short where they located the stock, they're paying the cost to cover it, or it's counterfeit shares sold. If you don't believe it exists, it's not going to 900. It goes from 6, maybe it goes to 8, and it's all she wrote. But if you believe, and that's all we have is belief. We can't prove it. If Gary Gensler talks constantly about a level playing field, the criminals know how much they've sold. They keep their own books, but we don't know. So we try to watch it. And my answer to you, Hustle and Heart, is once a prime broker tells a counterfeiter, bring in more money, and the counterfeiter says, no, I'm not going to, or just doesn't return the phone call, the dynamic changes. There's no more selling from that counterfeiter, and there's buying from the compliance side of the firm, and they don't care what price they pay. They just want to close out the error. And if it's 10 million shares, the stock could go to $30, $50, $100. If it's 100 million shares that have to go bought in, 900 won't be the peak. But I don't know what else to tell you, Hustle and Heart. You'd have to go on Google and you'd have to type in what is a short squeeze. Hit send, or explain the dynamics of a short squeeze. Hit send, or why do stocks squeeze? Hit send. How is it possible for a stock to go from 20 to 2,000 in a short squeeze? Hit send. Type in, what are the greatest short squeezes of all time on Google? Hit send. And you'll start to understand why a stock can go from 6 to 900. Thank you, Brenda, Queen of Swords. I'm gonna donate to the documentary. So there, Lance is telling you, Hustle and Heart. There's plenty of information on short squeezes. It's not a new phenomenon. Yeah. See, I don't know why I answer, because that's a brilliant answer. That answers it. Jenny L. is pretty simple. Why nag a man like this? He is well aware of himself. Nag, nag, nag. Nag, nag, nag. All right, I'm going to go. It's 4:23. Let me just let me quickly see if there's any. Thank you for donating, Black Wolf. GameStop, Hustle and Heart. You think higher than GME, AMC top, VW? The Hustle in a spike. I think Finger can go higher than GME, higher than AMC, higher than TOP. I'm not sure about higher than VW. In a spike. But I would hope by that time you've already taken most of your money off the table. My point about bringing out the high numbers is that you can sit down at your kitchen table, as they say in politics, and you can sort of write out what you're trying to accomplish. And maybe it's to pay off your student loans. And let's say your student loans are, I don't know, 65 grand. I want to be able to pay that out. I've got to pay taxes. So I want to achieve 90 grand, or I'm making it up, 90 grand on this trade. And you've got 1,500 shares. So it's pretty obvious you've got to get an average price around $90. And then you put your GTCs out. The important thing I'm saying about the spikes is this is a situation where you can put out good to cancel orders. You can almost pick your dream prices. And as long as it shoots to the upside, I think you're gonna get those orders off. You can always change the prices later. That's my point about the squeezes. I don't want you to get in there and try to sell. Let's say you own 5,000 shares and you put your order out to sell 5,000 shares at 900. That would be just sickening if the stock went to 875 and that was the peak. And then it just comes down faster than it went up. My experience is stocks always go down faster than they go up. And that includes short squeezes. Why? Because the price has already been there. The stock has already been at the low prices, and people can conceive of the risk. They can see it. When it goes up, people have a hard time perceiving, how can it ever get to 900 or 90? Let's just be simplistic. How can it ever get to 90? Because it's never been there before. But if it's at 90 or 100 and the emotions break, people go, oh my gosh, it's been $9 before, and it'll come down just like a hot air balloon with a puncture. All right, let's see. Not legal advice. Short squeeze movement reflects the law of supply and demand. Too many buyers for few shares available, all within the time frame of an error desk saying, cover that error, get it done. I'm telling you, the mentality of a brokerage firm, a prime broker, when they realize they have a potential unlimited loss, is cover it. Buy it in. Get it done by the close of business today. We'll sort out the losers later. Just define the risk, define the loss, get it bought in. And I agree. It's supply and demand in a tiny window of trading. Scott Simpkins donated. Thank you, Scott. All right, so I'm going to hang up in 3 minutes. Not legal advice. If the only issue is notice of effectiveness, once the company is informed of the stamped approval, they can proceed, even if the public notice is delayed. There you go. There you go. So they have to get of the stamped approval. They can proceed with the financing even if they're not able to notice the public because of the government closure. That's great information. Jenny L., stop ignoring me. No, I'm going to dinner tonight, so I'm going to leave now in 2 minutes, and that will give me an hour to walk my dog, half an hour to get ready, half an hour to get to dinner. Apple devices work well together. Yeah. I don't know. There's something wrong with my abilities on technology. Well, if you had those orders out there, Joseph, for a few months, it's normal. They'd cancel them, and then you got to re-enter them. Okay. Good thing LGIQ is doing so well. Well, I think it's kind of rambly. I don't think it will have a short squeeze in the manner of all these other things, but there's a potential for a small, pop. and the risk is going over the weekend. I mean, everything is laid up there, as I've said in videos and other calls. Everything's laid up for the approval. In fact, Aubrey SPAC did post its proxy statement at the SEC, I guess, on Thursday. So I would argue it's already all in process, but we'll find out more soon. And if I were short, I wouldn't want to be short Logic over the weekend. Jenny's great. All right, I'm gonna thank you, VO Warrior. I don't mind Jenny's nagging. That's one important thing, Derek. Yeah, and you can debate it, but in the case of Finger, Ham has watched it every single day. We've got Tom Ronk's numbers. You can debate. Everything's debatable, but at some point you got to make your decisions on where you feel on it. And like you say, it's one short, or maybe it's just a cluster of two or three. It's not everybody like AMC, every player on the street involved. Clint Eastwood didn't. He said, nag, nag, nag. Why didn't I think of that? Buenas noches. Yeah, that's a good Hustle and Heart. You don't have to go to the library. I have the book right over here. Let me show it to you. This will give you this book will give you an idea of Wall Street's failure to deliver. It's written by Dr. Susan Trimbath, Rigged Financial Markets. So, but unfortunately, Hustle and Heart, if you read this, it could leave you a little despondent about the state of the U.S. financial markets. And in fact, if you really understand what she's saying, and I'm not you personally, if the reader kind of accepts her overall premise, the reader would never be in the stock market at all, ever. Just get out completely. All right. Jenny, thank you. Grow up, Arthur. Mr. Wizard. Thanks, Scott. That's good advice, Scott. Okay, I'm going to just wish everyone a good weekend as ever, and with renewed sense of purpose since the priest told me to pray for peace. I'm going to wish everyone peace, love, and happiness. And and then I'm going to sign off. Hustle and Hard, I think the squeeze, for me, I think it'll be 2 days, maybe 3. I think it'll be, let's say it starts, let's pick a date. Let's say it starts on Monday. I think it'll be over by Wednesday. Or if it starts on Wednesday, maybe it's over by Friday/Monday, something like that. I think, I don't see it. I don't see this lingering more than 1 or 2 or 3 days to the upside. All right, everyone. I'm going to go walk. Well, Don Giovanni, I agree with you. People would be totally screwed without the internet. And as I've said, Don Giovanni, I think communism fell. The Iron Curtain fell in large part because of the fax machine. You could look it up, but it was impossible to control information coming in from outside the Iron Curtain once the fax machine popped up. That's kind of what the internets, as George W. calls it, the internets are doing to the cabal on the criminal cabal on Wall Street. This is correct. I think the biggest reason optics matter, I think the biggest reason Wall Street, Reg Show was designed to give some time to allow the great self-regulatory bodies to unwind huge fail to deliver positions. And of course, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They created a warehouse to bury these fail to delivers. Anyone that says there's not an issue in the U.S. markets and the systems are in place hasn't read this book. But I think optics matter. The reason that the SEC, which I think is just a mouthpiece for Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, I think the biggest reason they haven't highlighted this is because, for example, JP Morgan has an existential threat to itself, if that's the way to herself, in the manipulation of the precious metals markets. It could be dire for the existence of the firm. Currency markets are manipulated, but the big cojones is the bond markets. And you saw this poorly run bank, SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, which was staffed with Democrats and woke hires that checked the box. You're a woman, okay, you're in then. You're a woman and you're not white, okay, you're doubly in then. You're a woman, you're not white, and you're gay, you're in. You're a man who dates a woman and that's a Democrat, and you donated, you're in then. How much do you know on banking? Nothing. Okay, that's fine. Just you're on the board. And okay, so what do we do here at SVB? Oh, I see. We take deposits and we invest the money long term. So we get interest of 1% on our 10-year bonds or 2% on our 30-year bonds, and we pay our depositors 0.5%. Hey, that's easy. Until it isn't. They got upside down. And then who bails them out? The Democrats at the Federal Reserve. But that can't happen when the bond markets give up the ghost. When you don't think that there's people that are upside down in the bond markets now with derivatives? When they give up the ghost, there's no saving it. None whatsoever. So I think in commodities and bonds, I think that's why Gensler doesn't want the light shown here. It's not just because of a couple small over-the-counter stocks, which he doesn't care about anyway. The bond market is a brontosaurus compared to the domestic pig, which is the equity markets. When the bond market goes down, I hope all of you watching me right now are in protected financial bunkers. And that's we're in a race against time. I don't expect everybody's saying it's going to happen now. We're in the middle of a collapse now. That's possible because we have no leadership. On the other hand, since everyone's predicting it, the contrarian in me thinks it's going to happen when no one expects it. But it's coming. It could come in October, but maybe it comes next year. Suzanne Trimbath is very smart, but she's no Hemingway. This is not the easiest book to stay engrossed with, but she is very smart and courageous too to write this. Well, that's it. You could not only could you sell the same car 20 times, you could put the debt on your balance sheet, charge 2%, 20%, get the commissions, and then call it assets under management. That's what happens on Wall Street. Well, there you go. My whole argument is it increases assets under management. It allows these people to make enormous, ginormous income. And just imagine this. When the Fed and the Treasury Department work in cahoots to create trillions with a T of dollars, the banking system doesn't have to take much of that. Just the vigorish they make keeps Jamie Dimon in his golden rings and bracelets. Yeah, I know. I didn't realize. See, I don't always recognize who's a fudster, but I'll do better. I'll do better as soon as I am able. Okay, I got to go walk him. Hemingway was the king of concise. I have a friend who far more successful than I, college roommate. He tried to start a novel, and I was thinking of putting it up here. Maybe I will my next live. He wrote. This is his opening sentence to his novel. I got to get it right. I hit him. She seemed impressed. See, that's concise writing, grabbed at the instant. All right. Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to, again, wish everyone the best and say goodnight. We'll catch you over the weekend, I'm sure. And I wish this is what winning might feel like, but I wish everyone just serenity over the weekend. And, cheers. Thank you, Mr. BN Pro. It's kind of you.